So we're going to show you how to use the new DIRECT2 harvest system from Puregraft to process your fat. The components that you'll need will be the easel. It's reusable. We have a spatula that helps you process the fat, and we have a canister that will be, which will hold our filters in it. You'll need that. And then we have the new components to the DIRECT2 system, which is this new lid. And what's cool about the new lid is as you harvest, is you can select it to pre-drain, which saves you the processing time, and we'll show you how that works. And it's super simple. Only 2 ports now. I think you'll love it. You have the drain straw that goes in through the lid like this. Makes it really simple. There's no like screwing in or anything. And then this is the fluid drain lever. And again, this is that lever that you can use to adjust intraoperative or after the surgery, based on how much you want it to pre-drain. So again, it will save you time. So, and then the last thing you'll need is obviously your Puregraft filter. And this is an 850 filter. This system, the new lid, is compatible with our 850 filters. And the first step as you process fat using 850 filters is to remove the white caps. And there's 2 white caps, and the second rule is never throw these away. So you want to save these for the second part of the procedure where we process fat. So we're going to harvest fat first, and then we're going to process fat later. So let me show you how this is actually set up with this filter. So this Puregraft filter has a number of ports: aux, drain, wash, and tissue, and we're going to use drain and tissue in the processing part. So the first step is to hook the drain part. It's labeled drain, so this drain straw makes it easy to assemble. So we're going to slide this drain tube in through the drain port. You can see the drain port on my finger here. And we just make connection, and then we're going to turn this new lever, hand tightened, to a point where it stops, so you don't over tighten it. The next thing is you notice we have this tissue. It's labeled tissue, but it matches up with the port on the inside right here that you can, I'll show you right here, tissue. So all we need to do is move this port over, attach it, and again, it's hand pushed in. It never goes to the undersurface of the lid. It's just hand tightened, and this is already set up. The next thing we want to do is we want to put it in our canister. And the next, how you do that is you fold the filter on itself, on the writing, as you can see, and then we're going to insert it into the canister. And then now we can use this little hook part and hook to the back of the easel. And then once this is hooked up, you are ready to hook up your tubing. And the tubing is simple. You'll have vacuum tubing and you'll have patient tubing. The patient tubing is the part of the tubing that goes to the POW handpiece or whatever type of device you're using to harvest the fat. The other port is the vacuum port, and that's just traditional vacuum tubing, suction tubing, that goes off the sterile field into the suction device, and that's how simple it is. And as we're harvesting, you'll see it'll be upright, is this will start filling up with fat and lipoaspirate. What's again unique to the new DIRECT2 is the ability to pre-drain. And why do you want to pre-drain? Because we're going to pre-drain with this drain straw that's all the way through the lipoaspirate part. Maybe it's the tumescent, it's the fluid that you don't want. And no fat goes through this, no wasted fat goes through that, but it saves you time at the end because this is a wash and filter system, and you can adjust this. You can pre-drain it at any time. You can partially pre-drain it. You can open it all the way up. And there's some great videos we have of that process. So again, we're going to harvest fat by attaching our tubing, 2 types of tubing, and then once this is filled up, and now we're at the part where, say we've harvested and we filled this up, and the last thing we like to do is, while the suction is still attached, is we're going to open that up all the way, do one last pre-drain. Once we're done, we can lift this lid off, like we're doing now. Sometimes it's tough to pull it out because it might be sticky. And all we're going to do is unscrew this little turning knob here for the drain port until it releases. We can pull that out. So that's gone. The next thing you do is this might still be attached. It could be. Usually it is. Sometimes it isn't. We pull that off, and now our lid is free. So we're done with that. The next step is I talked to you about the caps. These caps are here for a reason, and the one cap that we want to make sure we put on first is the aux port cap right here. So we put that on there. The next one that's open is the drain port, and that's where in your filter package is you get the drain bag with the filter. There's an extra cap here in case you lose one, in case one of these falls on the table, and that just hooks onto the top here, but it'll be the bottom of the filter. And then now these are all self-sealing over here, and these are caps, so we're ready to take the fat out and flip the filter, put it on the front of the easel. And by the way, you can set this aside. You don't need the canister anymore unless you want to continue to re-harvest. And we're going to attach the filter to the front of the easel. There's a couple tines here. They hang here. There's 3 of them. You can use all 3 if you want to. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to slide this plastic clip closer to the filter. Make sure it's open. At that point, any leftover fluid that's in this filter will drain. And this can actually go to the floor, and a lot of times we put that in a kick bucket. It's really, really easy to keep it off the floor and mobile. And once that's done, we go through the process of washing and filtering. There are 2 washes. You can actually pump your wash, which is typically warmed up lactated ringers, and it's a volume that's about 50% of what you perceive in the bag. So it says it's right about 850. We want to put about 400 of wash in there. We're going to wash it twice. In the wash phases, once we fill this up, we're going to massage the lactated ringers in. We're going to open up our drain bag again. We're going to clip this off, add more lactated ringers, mix it up, drain it off one more time. 2 washes are good. Once we're done,